The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys, Sam Robinson here. Welcome to this webinar for Ultimate Motion Resources. If you can hear me, say hi in the chat box and we will get started shortly. Perfect. So it looks like we've got everyone here. We got people from Wales, got people from the USA, we've got all sorts of people from all over. So awesome to have you guys here today. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through what some of the features are of Ultimate Motion Resources and give you an insight as to how I would use these tools to create high converting videos and also just high converting sales pages, which ultimately result in more income. So firstly, I've put a little slide here, and it's a picture of me, and equip yourself with the tools needed to create higher converting videos and sales pages. So you all bought Ultimate Motion Resources, obviously, and the reason why you've done that is maybe you're into video marketing, maybe you're into creating sales pages, maybe you're into just graphic design, who knows. So I'm just going to cover the basics today, but it should give you a good idea, and we're also going to be walking through the product. I'm going to show you a few things also as well, and just make sure you guys have all started off on the right foot, and I'll be having a question and answer session at the end as well. But feel free to ask questions as we work our way through this webinar, as I'll try and answer them as we go along if you see something that you have been unsure of since you've got this. So without any further hesitation, let's jump in and have a look at everything in this webinar. So firstly, I'm going to ask you, or make a few statements, sort of ask a few questions. Are you finding it hard to collect leads? Like something I've learned in sales is that basically to get a sale, you need a lead, and you've got to generate more leads than you do sales because it's where your sales come from. So are you finding it hard to collect leads? What methods have you tried to collect leads for your business? Rod's just quickly asked, will there be a replay? There will be a replay, Rod. We're recording this, so I'll put that up a little bit later on as well and email that out to you. So yeah, are you finding it hard to collect leads? Or do you feel like each sale comes harder than it should? Do you feel like you're throwing content at people, but is there an easier way to get those people to engage and actually buy? I know from my own experience from sales, it's weird. One day you're absolutely nailing it, you're going to be bringing in sales, in face-to-face situations or whatever, and then other days you feel like you're doing all the right things or you're trying so hard, but it's not coming. And it's one of those things I've learned, and it's something I've put down into words in the Sales Secrets document, which we will cover as well. So if you feel like each sale comes harder than it should, or maybe you're relying on providing content and hoping that will convert visitors into customers. Like it's the classic case. I see a lot of it basically online all the time. Being in this sort of business, I see a lot of sales pages, see a lot of sales videos. I see even just every day in everyday life, you get catalogs in the mail, you get emails, you get everything. And basically, what's the difference between the ones that make you buy and the ones that don't capture your attention? I wouldn't mind betting that quite a lot of the ones that there are a lot out there with tons of content on it, but it means nothing to you. It doesn't excite you. It doesn't do anything to make you want to buy. So we'll be covering off a little bit of that shortly as well. So if any of these are problems you might be having, we do have a bit of a solution for you in the form of basically everything you got in Ultimate Motion Resources. And I know it works because I've applied it myself in internet marketing and offline as well, running my own business. Especially a lot what I shared in the Sales Secrets document is, from first-hand experience, from hustling basically. I've had jobs where I've sold gym memberships, that guy at the gym convincing you to change your life and get the health and fitness, but also I've done a bit of door-to-door work and things like that as well. That's how I started to get started in sales, get my foot in the door, and I really enjoyed that side of things. So I'm passing on what I learned to you guys, and I'm absolutely happy to do that and see how it changes your business. So how do we solve some of those problems? Well, firstly, if you create engaging videos and sales pages that your visitors will love, obviously it's going to work. I mean, when it came to marketing Ultimate Motion Resources, I went through the sales page over and over again. I made sure it wasn't too much information that it got boring, but I wanted to make sure we got the point across so you knew exactly what you were getting. I put the video on. We had Todd, who's a big video authority man. He's easily trusted by everyone because he doesn't put his name to garbage, so to speak. So I spoke to Todd months in advance before this even came out and talked about getting him on the sales video. And who saw Todd and thought, well, I want this product? Let me know in the chat box if you're one of the people that saw Todd and thought, well, if it's good enough for Todd, it must be good enough for me. That in itself. Yep, we've had some people say already they they saw Todd and wanted in because they trust Todd's reputation in the industry. And basically, from the sales video, it wasn't just let's look at all the pictures and things you get. We covered off a few problems and made it engaging. You probably watched it and thought, yes, I do need this to solve my issues, and it might be issues you didn't even know you had. And same on the sales page. So basically, if you create an engaging video and a sales page that is engaging, it's obviously going to turn into sales. And then what else I did in there as well is I unleashed some ninja sales techniques, which you'll be able to do as well in the sales secrets document to get your visitors buying. Now, I'm not talking about something like crazy, like I bet you didn't read a paragraph of just something crazy mind-blowing. It's little hints here and there, little impulses that we put into our sales pages, into videos even, into everything to do with a pitch that actually just gets the mind ticking over. It gets people thinking, I should have this, and we can go over the sales page actually in a little while as well. I might just impromptu throw that into the webinar and just start discussing some of the things we put in there as well, which is in the sales secrets document as well. So we might jump between sales secrets and the sales page and show you that too if you guys are up for that. And finally, as a result of being able to gather more sales or have an engaging sales page or even an engaging opt-in page, you're going to be able to grow your list effortlessly, increase your conversions, and make sales. Now, something I did when I designed Ultimate Motion Resources as a product to take to the market is I wanted it to be really rock solid in terms of the fact that I didn't want to, I wasn't promising the world, but I wanted to make sure people knew what they were getting and they were going to buy. And then also for those of you who went through the funnel and bought, the developer rights and the webinars and things like that, which I'll show you later on, the conversions for those were actually really, really strong. And it's because just using, I guess, sales techniques and a lot of the stuff you see in the sales secrets book throughout the whole funnel managed to make the conversions quite high, ultimately resulting in quite a good launch for Ultimate Motion Resources. So we will cover off a few of the techniques I used, and you probably would be able to pick up on them given that you bought this, and you'll be able to see how it actually works. So we'll cover off that as well today. So basically, how are you going to use Ultimate Motion Resources to leverage your business and boost your income in 2015? Okay, I'm not talking about just the odd graphic here and there or a motion background. I want to go into actually, because even though the whole cartoons and asset side of it was really awesome, I want to go into a little bit of the sales side of things as well, because we've included that in there with the Sales Secrets book, and that's something that has been a little bit different. Let me know if you've already read the Sales Secrets book that you got with Ultimate Motion Resources, and because I might be repeating a bit in there for you. But with this, I wanted it to be a resource that you could not only grab all the assets, all the stock images, everything you need to create captivating videos and amazing sales pages and things like that, but I also wanted to give you something a little bit extra to actually help you practically in your business with sales and things like that as well. So I'm quite glad of the feedback I've got so far from the Sales Secrets book too. So we'll be covering a little bit of that. So that basically is more of how you're going to use Ultimate Motion Resources to leverage your business and boost your income. So who am I? My name's Sam Robinson. I'm quite new to internet marketing, so to speak. I actually only just started internet marketing in late 2014. So this is the 5th product I've put out now. Got product of the day on JVZoo. Out of my other 4 products, 3 of them have been product of the day, and all 4 of them were #1 sellers on the day they were released. So I'm sort of new to this, but I have been applying what I learned in sales and what I put into that Sales Secrets book into actually using it to market myself and our products online. So Sam Becker actually saw what I was doing offline with other businesses and signing up clients, and knew my history because we're actually close personal friends and have been for a number of years now. And I've known his wife really closely since we were teenagers. And so Sam saw what I was doing and could see he had an idea of being able to get me to translate that into online success and online marketing. So Sam Becker took me under his wing and sort of showed me a little bit about how it works. And basically, since the 1st of May, I've made over $100,000 worth of sales online. And what is it? That's about 2.5 months. So I'm starting to pick up on it already, and I guess it's a true testament as to, for those of you who want to get into marketing, that you can do it as well, especially if you start using some of the techniques that you would pick up in this Ultimate Motion Resources pack in terms of the Sales Secrets book as well. I first launched a product in December 2014, and that raked in over $25,000. Now, I'm going to cover this in a little bit more detail in the webinar series, which was one of the one-time offers. I'm going to actually go into detail about how I got started in internet marketing in depth, the sort of techniques and things I used to get started, build a list of buyers, and actually sell something, because it's not every day someone walks into the industry, so to speak, and is able to start pulling figures like that. I mean, a lot of people I know a lot of people I talk to on Skype who are getting into the industry come on in, and they don't really know anyone, and they're picturing the $100,000 launch and all this income, but you've got to start somewhere. So that's why I'm doing a webinar series, 3-part webinar series actually, which is going to cover off a few things as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in case you are interested in joining in on those workshops. Okay, and outside of internet marketing, I've run a successful social media and graphic design agency in New Zealand. And I've also been a professional racing car driver in New Zealand for the last 5 years. I'm currently in Thailand. I'm heading back to New Zealand in 2 or 3 weeks to take up a contract with a Ferrari racing team to race for them. So I do have interests outside of internet marketing, and it's something that I've applied into internet marketing as well, especially with the motor racing, because we have to gather sponsorship and deal with media and promotion and things of all these brands and people who pour tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars into what we do. You've got to represent them well. So there's a lot I've learned that I translate into internet marketing, and that's something I cover in those webinars too that I'm going to talk about a bit later on. And in terms of the social media and graphic design agency, that's actually what inspired me to make Ultimate Motion Resources, because when I was my wife was doing freelance graphic design. I was doing social media, managing pages and things for companies, and we're always coming up with content, but it's hard to find content and not sure if you have the rights to actually use it. And that's why I put together this package, because it's something that I figured would be really, really, really good for those of you who are a bit confused about, what content can I use, what content can't I use? How many of you out there, put a 1 in the chat box if you're one of the people who bought Ultimate Motion Resources simply because of all the content in terms of the graphics, the stock images, the moving backgrounds. Put a 1 in the chat box if you did buy it simply because of that. Yep, Rick's come on and said he bought it simply just because of the content. So can I just quickly ask you, Rick, how have you found the value in terms of just the sheer value you got in terms of the content, and also what have you thought about comparing this as a graphics pack compared to someone else's graphics pack, so to speak, you found on the net? Did having extra content like a little bit of training and some sales secrets and just the sheer volume actually make a difference to your decision? Well, we got tons of ones come in. Yep, people have said because of the content, yeah, there was a bargain with the amount of content, as you mentioned there, Rick. Yeah, so basically, because that's something as well I noticed when I was looking for content, is the stuff isn't cheap, and we invested a lot of money in Ultimate Motion Resources. Won't tell you exactly how much, but I can tell you it was easily into the thousands, quite happily into the thousands. Yeah, it's quite funny explaining to the accountant what that's all about, paying some guy to create cartoons, I can tell you that. But and acquire 2,500 images. The accountant didn't quite understand what was going on there. But so yeah, it was easily into those sorts of figures, and so and that's one of the reasons why I created Ultimate Motion Resources, and I hope you've seen a lot of value in that as well. So I'm going to quickly cover the difference between successful and unsuccessful marketers is one thing. Well, it's a number of things, but we're going to focus on one thing basically. The successful ones actually will inform and encourage their visitors to take action. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I see a lot of sales pages, things like that, sales videos. You do too. I bet you do as well. And the ones that you actually end up buying, such as Ultimate Motion Resources, are the ones that actually inform you on what you're getting. You all just said you bought it because of the sheer volume of content. It's because we informed you about that content. But even if we just told you about the content, we still had to encourage you to take action. We had to encourage you to actually go out and buy it. Who's to say you wanted to? Why buy it today? Why not buy it in 4 months' time? Why not just wait around? That's the difference between somebody who's just sitting there and trying to sell a product, like you're, I guess you could say, somebody on the side of the road trying to sell lemonade, whereas the successful people will be the ones out hustling the neighborhood, going door to door, seeing people and encouraging them to take action and buy the lemonade or have a really good marketing strategy. But there is one big problem. Like a lot of people in marketing, I see it time and time again. I've been there with my own businesses in the past as well. Is what if you've exhausted all of your options? You've been following the same routine. You've been sending people to your site. You've got traffic. You've been sending people to your shop window, basically, of what you're trying to sell, and you're still getting low conversions. What's the difference between just trying to sell and having low conversions, or having exactly the same product but getting higher conversions? What do you think the difference is there? Those of you who have read the Sales Secrets book might have seen a little bit as well how it is. But the answer in terms of online marketing is quite simple, basically. I've found myself as well in terms of when I first started in online marketing, I was promoting a lot of products through email, and you guys have probably already got an email from me already promoting a product from Todd and also one from Sam Becker coming up to help you weigh up, which one you should buy. I left the choice up to you because they're both really, really good. But when I first started promoting products, I was creating a simple bonus page, a few bonuses, and here you go, people, like, do you want it or not? Buy it. Whereas now, who on this webinar has already visited one of my bonus pages? That I sent one out yesterday, promoting one of Todd's products. Put a number 1 in the box if you have seen one of those already. Someone's come on and said, yeah, the sales pitch and the value as well is what gets people come in. So yep, we've had some people have seen the bonus page already, and I think the first thing with the bonus page is I actually put up a custom video to intro people. Hey, it's Sam. I've checked out this product and this is that. So I've made an engaging video already because you've got an email from me, and the first thing you hear and see when you come on the page is a familiar voice, a familiar face, telling you all about this product. And then it leads into a demo, and it's got background music. It's just some slides. Some if the sales video is actually really, really good, I'll just use the sales video for that product because it does the engaging for me. Then we've got a captivating page because we've got the countdown timer. We've got all those sorts of things, which gives you an idea of what you're in for, and just highlights some of the features and encourages you to buy with the bonuses. So we've got a captivating page because you land on the bonus page, and not only are you getting the product that you're looking at, but also my wife and I, we've thrown in a ton of bonuses for you as well. We got because we like to give you guys as much value as possible, and also because if you don't buy through me, you're going to buy through someone else, right? So I'm trying to encourage you to use me as your point of buying as well, and through that I make an engaging video, make a captivating page, and I use the sales secrets document as well. And I'm completely open about that because at the end of the day, I bought tons of products online last week. I bought tons of the upgrades to Explaindio, believe it or not. What else did I buy? I bought another graphics pack because I just like to see what else is out there, and I just, like you guys, I like a good bargain when it comes to owning assets as well, and things like that. So if you're not buying off me, you're buying off someone else. And if I'm not buying off one person, I'm buying off someone else. So it's my job as someone who sells things and makes a living online to capture those people in and make a captivating page and get them buying off me as opposed to somebody else. So I guess, would you like to know how you can make money by doing that, creating captivating videos, pages, or offers and things like that? Well, you certainly can. In the webinar series I'm doing with OTO 2, which was the second upgrade, you can buy it through your members area, and I'll show you as well. I'm actually going to go through and give you a good idea of how to get started in internet marketing. But also, how would you like to know how you can make money by just doing that? Today, I'm going to quickly cover a few things with Ultimate Motion Resources, which should be able to hint at what you can do with it. And especially, I think, even just if you read the Sales Secrets book, I know I'm hammering it to you guys, but I believe in it because it's worked for me, and it's actually worked for a few friends of mine who I've trained in these sorts of techniques, and they've seen conversions boost and things in their own business offline as well. So ultimately, if you follow those steps and start using it to sell your products, I can imagine you'll see your sales increasing as well. So you're going to ultimately make more money off it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you a bit of a so I just had to have a bit of a laugh. Dave's come on and said, Explaindio, I just made it out of the funnel yesterday. Yeah, I know what you mean. When I first I actually bought Explaindio 2.0 as well to upgrade and just skip through the funnel because I knew that's all I wanted. And then when I went back to go buy a few of the upgrades, and I went through it all again, Dave, and there was a lot of cool stuff in there, and there was a lot of good upgrades and value in Explaindio as well. So a lot of cool things, but I just had to put it out there because it amused me quite a bit. So I know what you mean. So Ultimate Motion Resources walkthrough. So firstly, what I'm going to do is, can everyone see my screen okay? I just want to make sure you can see the screen and you've been seeing the slides perfectly fine. Let me know. I'm just going to jump in. So let me know in the chat box if you can see the screen perfectly fine. Yep, cool, everyone can see the screen. That's what I like to hear. So I am just going to bring up this is the welcome page. So once you've bought Ultimate Motion Resources, you log into your JVZoo portal and you land here. I just want to quickly run through this. I won't get too in depth with it. It's just there's been a few people sort of get a little bit lost, even though we tried to make it as simple as possible. So the first step is you register for the VIP webinar, which you're on already. I'll just put a replay link in there once we finish that, because I wanted as many people in here to just actually walk through the product as well. Now, second step, register for an account. Is everyone registered for their accounts? Is there anyone out there who hasn't registered yet? You haven't got in and had a look at all the products yet? Let me know if you haven't, because I can sort of quickly tell you a little bit about how we go through this. But so you register for an account, and then I recommend bookmarking this link here. Step 3, save this link so you can log back into your account later. Bookmark this link because when you register your account, you get a username and a password, and there has been the odd issue where it doesn't redirect to the resources page as well. So I'd recommend bookmarking this link here. It's ultimatemotionresources.com/personal thanks. There is a different link for developer, which I'll tell you about if you did buy developer. Bear in mind, stuff is locked off unless you have purchased and registered and everything like that. So I don't think you can grab the links and try and sneak into the developer area. Believe me, people have tried already in the support desk claiming they can't get in, and there's no record of a sale for them for the developer, right? So save both those links. Save the link that you log in, and just save this general front page link so you can get access to everything as well. Okay, and then once you've logged in, you can, when you log in, it should direct to the resources page. It should direct to the resources page, but if it doesn't, click on this link here and that'll take you to the resources on step 4. Okay, and on step 5, you can download all the bonuses that you would have seen on the bonus page. We've thrown a ton of bonuses in there for you as well, so feel free to download and use those. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. One of the bonuses, it's called WP Local Deals. We're having a few issues with that. It's been the files changed around a bit lately, and now it won't work, and now we're just really struggling to even get it working. So so I'm going to let you know that straight away, that we are having issues with one of the bonuses, but we more than make up for it with the rest of the bonuses and things like that as well. And then also we've got our support desk as well. I answer about 95% of the tickets myself. Every morning I wake up, I do the tickets. Before I go to bed, I do tickets. Middle of the day, I sit there and mow through tickets. Fortunately enough, with Ultimate Motion Resources, there hasn't been too much to answer, so it's been quite good. There have been the odd issue here and there, but everyone's really enjoying it, and we've been getting a lot of really good feedback, actually, which has been really cool, and that's half the reason why I do the support desk myself, is just for a bit more of a personal touch, and secondly, because I like to know firsthand what is happening with my business. Step 7, I'm going to cover this soon as well, just so you can be aware. There is another online webinar, special free webinar that is scheduled for tomorrow. We've got a few people who can't make it tomorrow and want it pushed back a few days, so we're going to keep you in the loop via email how it goes. But we have got it scheduled in for 3 p.m. tomorrow. It's basically, I'll cover it a bit later on actually, but it's going to show you through a training course that you could do to start making a living online as well. So, and I know it works because a few of my friends have actually done this and sent it out to their list with the same guy, and the results have been real world results. This isn't just like some guy trying to, con you with some random offer. This is a genuine practical workshop that actually works and have seen results from people earning money online. So if you want to be internet marketer or want to make money offline or anything like that, I recommend checking that out. It's completely free to go to the webinar and see it. I'm going to tell you right now that they will pitch you a product as well, but it's totally up to you whether you decide whether that's something you want to run with or not. And the only reason I put this in here is because my friends actually recommended that we offer this to members of Ultimate Motion Resources because their customer base has actually seen results with it as well. So I don't like promoting things that don't work, but in this case it is something I have seen and my friends have highly recommended that I offer to you guys as well. So check that out as well. Step 8, did you miss any of the upgrades? This is where you can buy some of the upgrades, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. And just having a quick look through the questions as well. When I click on number 6, support desk, I get a blank page. I use Google Chrome. Is it a browser issue? I'll just actually double check the link in there. It should be a mail to link. Yeah, it's a mail to link because it's basically the email address is support@cultmedia.zendesk.com. What I'll do is I'll put the email address under the text as well in case it doesn't pop open with your mail browser or whatever. Sometimes, the wonders of technology. seemed to upset that thing. And Marcy's just saying she hasn't registered as well. So yeah, when you go to the register now page, go through and just register with a username and a password, and then that should log you in and direct you to the resources page. If it hasn't, as I mentioned before, bookmark this page right here when you land on it, just so you've got something to go back to and check the steps as well and jump from there. Once you are logged in, you can just jump straight into the resources and have access to that as well. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, someone else is just saying it hasn't come up with the support. So I will get the team to fix that right after this. Actually, I'll just fix it myself after this webinar. I'll change that and put the support email in there. So sorry about the people to the people that have been having issues with that. So basically, that's the welcome page for Ultimate Motion Resources. Cool. So where do we go from there? I'm going to jump into the sales secrets document, actually. I'm going to jump into the sales secrets document. I'm also going to bring up the sales page for Ultimate Motion Resources. Cool. And I'm just going to pause Todd there. Video. There we go. Cool. So I'll get that ready as well. So basically, I just wanted to cover the sales secrets document for you guys real quickly. I won't get into it too deep, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand the value of this as well, because this is where, when I was pitching Ultimate Motion Resources, I was saying, you know, it's got things in there that can actually help you make you money. And the reason I say that is because I wrote this and I know this sort of stuff has worked for me as well, especially in terms of increasing conversions. If you can apply some of the steps in this document, it's going to work wonders. So basically, what I've done is I've got a short intro here as well. I actually got a national sales award for a leading New Zealand company who took me on to help acquire new customers back in 2011, I think it was. I did over $1 million worth of sales for them in 4 months. So basically, these people were getting put onto a 2-year contract, and they worked it all out, and I generated them $1.1 million or something in 4 months in terms of revenue they were going to have. And so obviously there'd be a bit of profit in there for them as well. They were pretty stoked. They invited me to their national conference and whatnot, and I was supposed to wear a red tie and all of that because it was the company colors and all that, and got an award. So so basically from that it shows firsthand that some of these techniques work, because this is exactly what I use to do this. So sorry, I'm just lost my voice a little bit there. So basically, the first step is gathering the puzzle pieces. It's putting together everything in terms of allowing the person you're pitching to ultimately make a decision that ultimately benefits you. So even if you are, it doesn't matter whether you're an online business, an offline business, or it's, you know, if you're trying to sell something, a service or anything at all, because it doesn't matter if you know, internet marketing or anything, this document's going to help you. If you're trying to make money by selling anything at all, have a read through this, because I'm going to tell you a little bit. Basically, first you need the puzzle pieces in place, but then use your gifts. It's something that the guy who taught me actually taught me, and I've passed that on and expanded on it as well. And like basically, I've applied some of this into the into the sales page, and it must have worked for you because you bought it. And it's little things like this that it's, you know, you might be skeptical hearing it, but once you start applying it, it actually becomes real. Say for example, greed. Greed is one thing that's going to make people buy. Basically, by greed, I mean people like to save money. They like to buy something where they know they're saving money. And you guys mentioned just before that you bought it because of the sheer value. If you can get something cheaper than what it really is worth, you're going to buy it. So if we jump onto the sales page, because what I did is I heavily discounted the price for launch. You're obviously, you know, you're like, wow, I got to get this now because the price is going up, and it is going to go up again quite soon to more like the retail level, which is going to reflect more accurately the sort of value you got in this product. So basically, the discount helped you buy Ultimate Motion resources as well as everything included, but also this would have helped you buy. If you can see it on my screen right now, I've scrolled down to the bit that showed you how much it actually costs to get some of these graphics and stock images made, let alone the videos and all the extra stuff as well. So when you start seeing these sorts of figures, you're thinking, well, I'm paying, $17, $19, $27 for a product that if I were to go out and make it myself would cost me tens of thousands of dollars. So it makes sense for you to buy that, right? So that's greed in action right there. There we go. Next is indifference. And I sort of use this quite a lot, and it's something that comes naturally to me as well. I don't like the hardcore pitch. I like to let people make the decision themselves. Just like I said, we got another webinar coming up. It's a free webinar. It's going to cover how you can make money online and things like that, but it's totally up to you if you want to do that. If that's a path you want to go down with, you can do it. You're in control. And for those of you who are thinking, well, this is pretty cool, I might just jump in on that, that's sort of indifference working on you already, because to me, you're going to gain a whole lot more than I'm going to gain from going on this webinar, because it's something for you. You make that decision to help yourself, and that's sort of almost selling you already, because if you are one of those people that are thinking through like that, it's your decision, you're in control, you're going to do this, you've convinced yourself. So that's where indifference sort of comes in when it comes to selling products online. Someone's just asked, how did I publish the Sales Secrets book? It's a PDF. I wrote it myself. My wife is actually a talented graphic designer and everything like that, so she designed it up and packaged it into a PDF ebook for you. I think she did it in Adobe InDesign or something like that. So there we go. So it's in a PDF. It is on the resources page as well. So we'll move on to the next impulse, I guess you could call it, in the Sales Secret, is the fear of loss. So how many of you got in during the early bird special? Put a 1 in the box if you got in during the early bird special. Let me know if you did. I've got some 1s pouring through already, that people buying during the early bird special, because it was the fear of loss, right? You've landed on the page. Oh no, the price goes up in 3 hours. Now there's a reason why we do this. It's not just to give you guys a hard time and make you get in quick, but it's also because people like to buy things when they're at the lowest price possible. Plus we like to give you the most value as well. It's like a really good package to offer. So you can see on this page here, basically we had a countdown timer down the bottom. I've turned it off now because we've finished the launch period. I've got a few people that are still promoting a few things for it, but I turned it off. There was a countdown timer down the bottom. Also on the bonus pages, you would have seen a countdown timer as well. And that's because if you don't get it, you're not going to get it at the lowest price possible. I mean, we kept our word. 3 hours and the price went up. After that, the next day after midnight, we did a price freeze for product of the day. At midnight, literally on the dot, price went up. And then after launch, price has gone up again. I mean, it's $27 now. For those of you who got in super, super early, you would have got it for $14. And we're about to put the price up again after a few people have finished a few little promotions that they wanted to promote this to their list. So that was the fear of loss in action. The price ticker isn't actually the countdown timer is actually gone at the moment because we don't know when we're putting the price up again. I'm just letting people finish some promotions, but it's still not as cheap as it was. Cool. And now let's have a look at the next one. After fear of loss, you've got the Jones theory, which is an interesting one, because I'm sure you've heard of the saying, keeping up with the Joneses. And how many of you have applied that in real life? How many of you have seen your friend or family member get a new phone, a new computer, a new car? How many of you have done that because somebody else has it? I mean, to give you an idea, I currently run a MacBook Pro, and I used to be staunch against Apple products, just one of those guys. There's always sorts of people like that. Now I actually don't really care, to be honest. I use both Windows and Apple products, but I do have non-Apple products as well. I do have a MacBook Pro, and it happened because my friend got one and he started raving about it, and I saw that, and then my next friend got one, and this is way before I got into internet marketing. This is I was still about 4 or 5 years ago, and my next friend got one, I was like, oh, well, I need a new computer. I went down and got one as well. And that was the Jones theory at work, because I didn't really weigh up what I was getting. I just thought, well, I know what they're getting. It's obviously working for them. I need it as well. So I went out and got a MacBook Pro too. So that's what the Jones theory in action. And then in terms of marketing, because especially how we use it for Ultimate Motion Resources, the Jones theory, I guess, was when we hit product of the day. Obviously, a lot of people had bought the product. We had hundreds of sales flowing, and a lot of people bought this. And all our affiliates who would have mailed you the offer and everything like that really put an angle on it, like this product's really, really hot. Everyone's jumping on it, because they were. It was I think it was like the number 2 seller on the opening day or something, against some pretty stiff competition. And the reality was a lot of people were buying it. And so people said that to them, and people said that to their list, and if you've got mailed it on the first day and you're like, that sounds all right, second day I got product of the day, it's got hundreds of sales and lots of other people doing it, obviously it must be okay, right? So you jump on, and you jump on the bandwagon as well, and that's the Jones theory in action. And finally, sense of urgency. So with the sense of urgency, what I mean is I was really encouraging you guys to buy today. I'm telling it like it is. Some of you might start to feel a bit sold to now, but it's a really practical showing of how these sorts of techniques actually work to sell you stuff. Like, let's have a look in the sales page. Claim your 75% off launch price now. So now is an urgency word. Just jot down keywords that you're gonna use to basically, how do you call it, encourage people to get doing something straight away. So we had the word now. We had, here we go, check out these actual quotes we received for the same content you get today. So you're starting to think today, now, in your mind, in your subconscious, you're starting to think, okay, now, today, something you've got to start taking action on, because you're going to miss out. And basically, I'm just going to have a quick browse through here as well. Find out how you can take these sales secrets and apply them in your business today. Again, you're starting to get it built into your mind, if you've read all of this, that today I'm going to be sitting down with this product and using it. And you're starting to get that sense of urgency, because when you get to the end, you're like, well, I've got to buy it today because I'm going to learn about all this sort of stuff today. And you are learning about that right now. So basically, little keywords like that as well. There we go. You can get using today. So it's things like that sense of urgency, and then combine it with a bit of the fear of loss with the countdown timer, the early bird special. It's really given you a huge reason to buy it all today. And that's the sense of urgency in action. And why I wanted to cover these sales secrets, I sort of threw it in a bit more in depth, and it's taken up a bit more time for this webinar. Why I wanted to cover that is just to basically allow you guys to realize the value of the Sales Secrets book and how you can actually use those. If you apply those little secrets, it's the difference between a page that converts and a page that doesn't convert. It's the difference between a sales pitch that works and a sales pitch that doesn't. I mean, if you hear a sales pitch that babbles on about content, it's quite cool, you know what it's all about, but you're not that excited to buy. If I went in and I was like, you're going to get 150, you're going to get 400 animal cartoons, you're going to get 150 business cartoons, you're getting like 1,250 graphics, you're getting 100 motion backgrounds, and it's $14, it's $27. Doesn't make you buy, right? It's if I'm saying, today you're going to get 1,250 graphics, you're going to get the Sales Secrets book, which you can apply today to start earning, money. Things like that. It's a proven process that other people have used to start earning an income. And you can see you're starting to throw impulses, and you're starting to think, well, I need this, compared to the pitch before. So that's where the Sales Secrets are being working in. And someone's just asked, are we being truthful or are we just sales pitching? Well, there's nothing on my sales page where it wasn't the truth. Basically, you apply the truth, but use those sorts of things. As I mentioned, like the discount, the early bird was there. It did go up. The price did go up. It did go up. And if you missed it, you missed it. There were other things, like the Jones theory. I was saying, everyone else was getting on it. Well, they were, because the 300, 400 people had bought it at that point, and so that was the Jones theory in action. The sense of urgency and things like that, being able to get you started today. Well, if you did buy it today, you could get started straight away if you start downloading it. So you are telling the truth. I would never ever recommend to anyone in sales to go out and lie to people or claim something that they can get that isn't the truth, because it's going to catch up on you, it's going to bite you, and it does no good work towards you as a brand or your retention of customers. And something I cover in the Sales Secrets book as well is referrals, because when you look after someone, I mentioned I'm in the support desk myself personally. If you email with a question, there's 9 out of 10 chance it's going to be me that looks after you and checks it all out and goes over it. And that's all about that customer retention, that trust, and I guess it's that integrity as well. If you these are all steps that are applied with the discount and everything like that as well. The greed, the indifference, the fear of loss, the Jones theory, and the sense of urgency. All things you can apply to the truth in your product. I've never actually thought about using it in an untruthful way, to be honest. So thank you for your questions, and it's good to see that. And you do mention you do see products that are promoted in that manner, and that's again, it goes to show, if you do see that sort of stuff, you buy it and get disappointed, you're never going to go back. You're never going to buy it again. Whereas, I have a lot of stuff that I'm loyal to because I've had a good experience with it. So next up, let's have a quick look on the slideshow. So we've talked about, whoops, I've gone right to the start here. I've talked about, basically, I've given you a quick overview of the product. Actually, no, I haven't. I'm going to jump off there. I'm going to quickly run you through the resources page, just because we are going to. Okay, cool. So Dave has asked, so the Sales Secrets is a book you authored then? Yes, that certainly is. I wrote it myself. And as a special unannounced bonus, you're going to give a copy to the good-looking people on this webinar. Well, here we go, Dave. I just jumped into the resources page, and the first thing on the resources page, you may have missed this because everyone gets so excited about the assets, is the actual Sales Secrets book. We didn't push it that hard on the sales page, believe it or not. It's just one of those things where when I was trying to condense down the sheer volume of this package, is one of those things that was hard to put a big emphasis on, because a lot of people that were promoting this product knew that people were going to love video sort of stuff. So we did do that. And sorry if this webinar, I've just looked at the time and just realized it's going on quite quickly, actually. So for those of you who have to take off on the hour, I did say it was going to be an hour webinar. We will put a replay up for you as well. But I'm going to quickly go over this. So you can download the Sales Secrets book on the resources page. So there we go. Some people say they've downloaded it already, going to start reading it later today. So hopefully that gives you a good insight. And yeah, actually apply these. Learn to insert your assets. What I did here is, as well, is because I've bought graphics packs back in the past, and even recently when I started playing around with Camtasia and things, bought all these graphics packs, had a whole bunch of graphics that didn't really know what to do. What I did is I filmed some short training videos. They're not massive training videos, they're not hard out in depth, but it just gives you, just helps you get started. I mean, if you want to get really in depth, you're probably going to go to the product and find the training videos anyway, but just the basics of how you can get started in Camtasia. Video Motion Pro, I'm on the training page now, so hopefully you can see that on my screen. Sometimes the screen's delayed a little bit, in case you're wondering. You can insert it into Video Motion Pro and Explaindio. So I filmed these on a Mac as well. I know the Windows software can be a little bit different, but hopefully it gives you a good idea of what to look for in terms of jumping in these programs and inserting your assets into them and using them. But then what I also did is I actually bought out a product called Video Sales Blueprint a few months ago, where it was a lot more focused on the training side of things. So I actually threw in some extra training resources for you guys, just to give you more value and just give you that little bit more in depth if you want to as well, if you're serious about making sales videos. So I put in 10 of our training modules in here to help you get started with Video Sales Blueprint, and it was actually a bonus on the there was a bonus on the developer rights upgrade. I think Video Sales Blueprint might have even been the front end product. Sorry, it's been a busy few days here. I can't remember. So we gave you access to that too. So you've got tons of tools to get started if you want to start editing videos and making sales videos yourself. So be sure to check out that. And then after that, we've got all the assets. What I've done is I wrote how big they are as well above the download button, so you can sort of gauge which ones you might want to download today, put on overnight download depending on your connection. Quite lucky where I live here, we got some really quick internet, so it's no problem to download gigabytes worth of stuff. But I understand some people and we are working on splitting them up into smaller downloads, some of the bigger files too. So for some of you who have had their files failing, there should be some extra download buttons of like a part 1, part 2, part 3 for some of the bigger files as well. So we are working on that, just to let you know. But yeah, you simply just download it. You get a package that lands in your download folder as a zip. You unzip it, and it should be all folded up in folders ready for you. We have had an issue with one of the business cartoons. I'm going to tell you that as well, where it seems to be unzipping funny, and we just can't even get our head around it. We've been trying to look at it and we tested and it works, but then it's about two customers have had an issue with it so far where it's unzipped, but it unzips all these errors as well. So if you are one of the few customers that have had that problem, as I said, we've only had 2, and one of them actually figured it out. Email me on support, and I'll send you the reply of the guy that figured it out as to how to get them. It's actually pretty easy, but I think it's some people with a very specific version of Windows. So it is one of those sort of freak things which you get in this world of technology. So it is simple like that to download them all. In terms of the video backgrounds, I've bundled them up into collections, and there will be split up versions of these as well to make it a bit easier for you. So that's basically what you're getting with the resources and the training pages. So hopefully that's giving you a quick look at what you're getting. Someone just going to have a look. Are they compatible with other video creating tools? Yes, they are. We've put them in. I put in MP4 versions, 720p size videos. So if it can edit MP4 coded videos, it should be okay. For Explaindio, it takes a certain codec of the video. So I actually converted these for you as well. So there's a folder and they're ready to go for Explaindio. For some reason I can't see the graphics when in my folder it only shows text from Tom. That's a interesting one. If you're already unzipped it, it should have sometimes they have subfolders. I categorize them into PNG folder and then into all the graphics. It does sound a bit odd. Cool. And some people say they've downloaded most of the graphics already, and yeah, and again, if you are some of the people that have had it fail to download because of the share size, we are working to split that up. Sorry about that. I got so used to the internet connection where I live here at the moment in Thailand. Believe it or not, has a really good internet connection here for some reason. And I go back to New Zealand and it's back to the third world in terms of internet. Cool. So now what I'm going to cover is I'm just going to quickly jump in, and I'm going to we're just going to quickly cover the OTOs. I'm going to cover the one-time offers, which did come up because there is a little bit of extra. So let me know in the chat box if you did buy any of the one-time offers. Hit me up in the chat box if you did buy any of the one-time offers, because I'm just going to quickly run through these now for you as well. Because the first one-time offer that we had was developer rights. So some people are thinking, what's the difference between this and the package I just bought? Package you bought is cool to use for your business to do its own advertising, to create its own marketing products, to create its own videos. Developer rights is for those people who, the people that are going to sell this as a service use these as part of a service. You may be an agency who creates videos for people. You may be an agency that creates posters for people. This is for you, but also even for people that want to use it for themselves, we actually threw in some extras as well. We threw in 375 extra graphics. We threw in the graphics in a JPEG file format and SVG file as well. So for those of you who are into image editing and all that sort of stuff, we threw in 1,500 of the graphics in SVG file. You may be wondering why we didn't throw in every single one as an SVG file. It's because some of them actually just disappeared. We actually had to cut down quite a few of the graphics as well, because some of them were inconsistent and things, because the sheer volume was just crazy. I spent days going through it, and there will be a few double ups. I'm sure somebody's going to find some somewhere. We tried our best to minimize these, but yeah, when you're going through, when you include the developer graphics, when you're going through 1,600 files, and then you've got them in 3 different file formats and all sorts, it is quite a head job. So, but I'm sure you can appreciate that that will happen with something of this size. You also get 20 extra moving video backgrounds and over 1,000 extra stock images with developer rights. So it is a little bit more expensive because it does have the developer rights license as well. And so you can use, edit, and sell it as part of a package for your client. So feel free to check that out. As I mentioned, it's on this page. There's links to it on your welcome page. So go through and have a look at that. And then yeah, you get a few extra bits and pieces, including 20 extra moving video backgrounds. But also we're working on another one as well to give you even more value. Will be sort of like beach themed ones too. So there's quite a lot of value, and just checking. Yeah, a lot of people actually bought OTO 1 already, and some people bought White Label 2. Obviously maximizing being able to make as much money out of this as you can. We'll cover that in a second. And so people are in on the webinar as well. So it's awesome to see you guys gone through and bought a whole bunch of this sort of stuff, because I really wanted to just add a lot more value to the product as we went through as well, and make sure it's stuff that appeals to you. So thanks for the good feedback. So the second one is a webinar series. So just like this webinar today, I've let you in on a few of the sales secrets and things like that. In this webinar series, I'm actually going to cover that in a bit more depth. I mean, we covered that a bit today, but I'm doing 3 2-hour webinars. 3 2-hour webinars. These are live webinars, and they're actually going to be held mid-August, believe it or not, because I actually got a lot of travel coming up. I got a few projects on the go with a few things, and have to move around and head back to New Zealand for the Ferrari thing. And so I wanted to schedule it so I can, not have to do it while I'm jumping around the countryside. So it will be mid-August. This webinar series is basically, I'm going to show you how I went from being a total internet marketing newbie to someone who creating products and launching product of the day products and things like that. A lot of it, is thanks to some of the stuff I learned in Sales Secrets, but there's a lot of insight in here for people who want to make an online income. There's a few people that I have had do these webinars with me, and I've got them on Skype and things now, and they actually promoted this product and made money off it. So it's cool to see people applying it and using it to make money themselves. So basically, I'm going to tell you in depth how I went from working full-time to working for myself in 3 months. Even though I had a graphic design and social media agency, I still worked full-time because the reality is you got bills to pay, you got rent to pay and things like that, and I just had to. And then after getting into internet marketing quite well, I just turned that into my full-time job, and here it is. It is my job now. I wake up whenever I want and go to bed whenever I want. I still have to-do lists and still work just as much as some people do in a full day, because that's my choice. I like to push on, but I'm going to teach you how I went about doing that, the steps I took, and how you can apply them as well. So that's something. This will appeal to those who are into internet, wanting to get into internet marketing. So I'm going to teach you that in the first workshop. Second workshop is I'm actually going to tell you how I applied stuff that I learned from being a racing driver into internet marketing and just marketing and sales in general as well. because I guess it is a unique perspective. Someone actually suggested I do this months ago, and I did one workshop already. People loved it, got some good feedback from it. So I'm adding it into this webinar series as well, because someone said, there's not many people that can actually relate the sort of things you have to do as a racing driver to what people are trying to achieve online. So this is quite a cool insight. I tell you about some of the ways I went about even just starting off and then gaining sponsorship and securing drives and competitive and measuring my performance, and how I apply that to business and internet marketing as well. And then finally, I'm going to go in depth about the sales secrets document and some of the sales techniques I use and how you can use them too in your business and apply them. So these are 3 2-hour workshops. So there's over 6 hours worth of content here for you. The price is, it should be $47 at the moment. I just got to double check. $49. $49, that's right. So the price is just $49 for 6 hours worth of workshops. It's going to be just like this webinar here, where you can ask questions and things like that. It's going to be a lot more in depth and cover a lot more topics as well for you. So feel free to jump on that. It's mid-August. Don't worry, it's not 6 hours at a time. It's 3 2-hour webinars, and each webinar is going to be spaced about 2 or 3 days apart. So it gives you a bit of time to take notes, think about things, ask me questions in the next webinar and whatnot as well. So I'd love to have you guys on board for that as well, if you want to learn a bit more in depth about sales, internet marketing, and how you can get started in internet marketing yourself if you like. And finally, before somebody asked me, someone just asked how long I had a coach for internet marketing as well. My coach is actually Sam Backer, who is actually just a really good friend of mine. I first started to realize about internet marketing in October last year at my birthday. He was actually doing a launch and I had no idea what he was doing. And yeah, because we were away on holiday. And so that's how quickly I got into internet marketing. From October, November last year, I didn't even know what it was. So, and then Sam, sort of out on my own a bit more now, but I do ask Sam things time to time, and I will pass those on to you in that webinar as well. And the third upsell, OTO, whatever you want to call it, that is the white label. So for those of you who want to sell products online or even sell products to offline clients, this is your chance to get everything with Ultimate Motion Resources as a white label product that you can use and sell as your own. So you can use this, you can basically, how you bought it off me, I give you everything for you to be able to sell it as your own to customers. It's $97. Basically, you could sell this sort of package with these sorts of graphics. I would have no problem walking out my door tomorrow with this sort of stuff under my arm and selling it for $47.97, probably even higher than that actually, to local businesses as well. So this is your chance to get everything. You can put it on whatever you want, USB, whatever, and sell it to local businesses. You can sell it online, because in this white label, you get everything you got with the product. You get the sales secrets document. You get all the training videos, which you can use for people if they want to use them. Get all the cartoons and things that you can download as well. And you get the sales page, the sales video, and the sales copy in a Word format. All the spiel I put on the sales page, you get that on a Word format in case you wanted to tweak it up yourself, adapt it to your own business as well. So, and you get a white label license that clearly outlines exactly what you do and don't get. So feel free to check out white label if you are into making money by selling it online. I did have people with my last launch buy white label and start selling it just after launch, and were turning over hundreds of dollars quite quickly online by actually selling it on JVZoo as well, and found people to promote their version of it as opposed to mine. So feel free to do that if you own white label with this as well. So that's what you get with the OTOs. And then finally, I'm going to just jump in here and just show you about that extra webinar as well I was talking about earlier. This is the free webinar. It's a guy called Barry. My friends put him onto me and me onto him because a few of my buddies have had this guy take a few classes and then had these people go into his training program to basically learn how to make money online, with money online and offline, by generating leads and sales for the business through Facebook through online means. So instead of like business pages and things like that on Facebook, it's actually I've heard a lot of really good things about this webinar. So it is a free webinar. It's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find that to sign up for it down the bottom here. I'm going to tell you right now that Barry will pitch you with a training program too, but you don't have to take it. You're actually going to learn quite a lot in this webinar as well. It's totally up to you. It's your decision, as I said. So I'm going to sit in on this as well and see what I can pick up too. And it's totally up to you if you wanted to go through with the training, but even if you don't, jump in and have a listen and see what they have to say, because I'll be there with you as well. He's going to tell you how to make your first ever online sales, even if you've never made money online in your life. So this is again for those people who want to get into marketing online or earning an income online. You don't need any previous success or experience online. Just like me, I had none when I started. I had no idea. And then also, just basically, it's going to cover off. It's a free webinar. It's going to cover off how you can go about making money online, and then it's going to expand into there'll be a lot more depth there for you if you wanted to purchase his training product. So for those of you serious about making money online, I highly recommend you jump on this webinar as well and see what it's all about. So basically, I've sort of covered everything there with Ultimate Motion Resources, and let's press play from start again. So does anyone have any questions for me? I'll have the yeah, no problem. I'm glad to give you a heads up about that webinar, and also telling you that there will be a training program to purchase as well. But it's actually a good thing to look into if you are serious about making money online. So yeah, look forward to seeing you on that webinar. So any questions about Ultimate Motion Resources or anything you've seen today, anything you might want me to quickly cover again while we're still up on this webinar, hit me with them in the questions box. If not, I'll assume we covered it off quite well there. We actually had a lot of questions come through during the webinar actually too. So I might have covered a few of them, either that or my chat box is broken. Okay, so someone, will your resources work with the new Easy Web Video Generator? Good question, because it actually just came out today, and I know people who have played with it. I talked to Todd about it. I know Sam Becker had a good play with it as well, and providing it can upload a simple MP4 file, which it should do being a video generator, it should work with Easy Web Video Generator. Don't take my word on it, but it should work with that. I have to really jump in and make sure our files, because that's the interesting thing with these files. Even though they were MP4 files, they worked with Camtasia and Video Motion Pro, but for Explaindio, I actually had to code them into a different codec for Explaindio to understand what it was all about for some reason. Just one of those wonders of technology. If it doesn't, there are a lot of converters out there as well, which should be able to convert the assets into whatever you need, like in terms of the video files. The graphic files are transparent PNGs. They should work with anything that can take a image, and so basically with Camtasia and I made sure they were on transparent backgrounds as well, so they're really easy to insert as well. Someone just asked, what is the link for that? What is the link for that webinar that is on tomorrow? It is on your welcome page. So jump in on the welcome page here, step 7, click see it here. That'll open up the lead page as well, and I'll actually paste that into the chat box as well for you guys to be able to just jump on and check it out and cite it sign up yourself, free webinar. And if you like free stuff, there's that greed impulse kicking in again. If you like free stuff, jump on this webinar because I'm going to be on it as well and see what Barry has to say. I'm really intrigued by it. I haven't personally been able to see it myself yet, but I heard nothing but good things from some of my buddies about it as well. So I'm really excited about seeing that too. So I've pasted that into the chat box. Okay. So any more questions at all, guys, before I take off as well, just because I know we answered quite a few as we went through. So let me know if you have any questions before we go. That must just about be it. So basically, thanks for joining us on this online webinar. It's great to have you guys on board with Ultimate Motion Resources. As mentioned, myself as well. There are a few things to look at. Jump into that sales secrets document was probably the big thing that I like to pushed on this one because I knew a lot of people would have got caught up in the resources, and use that to start applying that to your business today, so you can get started today with Ultimate Motion Resources. So thanks for jumping on board, guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the other webinars. And if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to get in touch with me. As I mentioned, I'm going to edit that support link as well because I heard that one of the buttons weren't working, so I'm going to just type that support email in there as well to help you guys get in touch with me. And as mentioned, it's always it's me on the support desk 95% of the time as well. So I look forward to personally catching up with you and helping you out if you do come across anything that doesn't seem to fit what you thought it was. But yeah, hope you enjoy Ultimate Motion Resources and everything we put together for you. And yeah, look forward to hearing from you soon and seeing what you can create with everything you got in this package.